Hello amazing friends, welcome back to a new video guys. How you all doing? Hope you're doing great. Today I'm going to show you how to make several kinds of this robe just using what a very simple method. Yes guys, so these are my fabric before they went to work. You can see I have few of them here and there, and you can do as much as you want. All you need to do is to work with this easy pattern I'm going to show you how to draft out here guys. Okay, yes guys, so without wasting much time, let's just get to it. I'll just go ahead and lay on my fabric aside so we can get to it already. So there is a pattern paper that I'm going to use, okay, and I have it here already. So I have this in two pieces. I'm going to use one for the front cutout and the other for the back. So let's start. So this is for the front, folded into two already. I'm just trying to indicate my shoulder width. I'm working with 16 divided by 2, and I'll have 8. Okay, so marking this down is just for us to know this actual sleeve length. So from that point, I'll take my tape down to the end of my fabric. Whatever I have there, just know that that's going to be what your sleeve length. So you can see my pattern paper is saying 11, which is not bad for a short sleeve, right? But of course, depending on the kind of fabric that you are using, when you make your fold and you're placing it on your fabric, then you can decide if you want to extend it, okay? Yes, that's just it. So at the end of my fabric then, I'm marking out 1 inch representing the slope. Then at the tip of the my pattern there, I'm also indicating 3 inches. So I'll go ahead now and mark out what my shoulder slope. So that's what I'm doing right now. So you can see this. Yeah, so that's it. Yes, we have that settled. So the next thing now is to indicate my neck width. So the neck width of 3, we already have that down there. Then a neck depth of 1 inches. Mind you, this one is for the back piece we're cutting out. Neck width of 3, neck depth of 1. So I'll go ahead and create my curve like you see me doing right now. So the next thing I want to do now is to indicate what my sleeve opening. Okay, so from the tip of that my shoulder slope there, I will take a sleeve opening of 10. 10 is okay to work with an average person, especially if you're doing this for a commercial purpose. Okay, but I'm going to add 1 inch seam allowance because by the time I use it to sew, I will still go back to my 10 inches. So I'm marking out 11 there. So at that point, I will extend the line and make that what my chest line, just like you see me do right now. Okay, yeah, so from the top of my pattern, I'll go ahead and indicate what the waistline, which is going to be at 17, and of course the hip line at 24. So I'll go ahead and also mark that down. So the thing here is that I am actually working with the biggest part of the measurement, okay? But for you, you can decide to use your waist circumference and your bust circumference as you do, but I'm going to use one measurement for all, which is the hip. So at the end of the day, those lines for the chest line, the waistline were not really necessary because I'm not going to use the measurement there. So this is it guys for the length. So depending on the desired length of your outfit, you can decide to extend it when you place on your fabric. There's no point attaching pattern papers together to get the actual length. So once you place it on your fabric, you can just extend it to the desired length that you want. Okay, yes guys. So the next thing now I'm going to do now is to indicate what the circumference. Like I said, I'm going to use the hip circumference, which is the biggest circumference. Okay, yes, and the hip circumference that I'm working with is 44 divided by 4, that is 11. Then I'll go ahead and add 3 inches for seam allowance. So that 3 inches for seam allowance, that makes it 14. So which means I'm going to be marking out my 14 from the bust to the waist all the way to the hip, just because I am using that one measurement for it all. So this is how I'm going to extend that 14 inches to my desired length, even when I'm placing it on my fabric. So like I said, feel free to input your waist and your bust measurement if you want to. So at that chest line there, you can see me creating a curve. Yeah, so that's what my armhole curve right there. You can see that now. And that's it, guys. You can see, believe it or not, we're done here. It's as easy as that, guys. Mine, like, this is straightforward. Yeah, so that's it, guys. So I'll just go ahead now and cut this out, and our back pattern is ready. So if you open it up, this is what it looks like. Okay, yeah, so that's it, guys. So moving up now, we're going to be cutting out for the front piece. So for the front piece now, of course, I have my pattern folded already, and I'm going to impute the same measurements, okay? Just indicating that, the shoulder weight, and, and also taking my slope. Just what we did for the back is just what we're also repeating here. But for the neck width, of course, we're still maintaining the neck width of 3, okay? And we'll go ahead there and mark out what the slope. You can see me drawing the lines for my slope. Like I said, we are just repeating what we did for the back piece. And from the tip of my slope there, you can remember I also marked what my sleeve opening, I said is what 11 inches. At the end of the day, it's going to still be 10, and make that my chest line, indicated my waistline and my hip line. Okay, yeah, so we're just actually repeating the same process, and you can see this right now. All right, so of course, I'll go ahead now and impute what my body circumference. And of course, remember I said we're using 11 inches for the hip circumference divided by 4, and added extra 3 inches for seam allowance. So that 3 inches is inclusive of the seam allowance and ease. All right, so now that we have drafted almost the same thing, then for the neck depth, now I'm going to be using what a neck depth of 10 inches. So it's going to be more like a V shape here. So I'm indicating that 10 inches, and I'll go ahead and connect it to my neck width of 3 inches to give me what a V shape right there. You can see this now. So go ahead and cut it, and also remember that the front is going to be open, so we're going to be slitting that part open. And like I said, also, whatever you do here when you're placing it on your fabric, all you need to do now is to go ahead and extend the length. Guys, if I tell you now that we're done, will you believe me? It's as easy as that. Like, how many minutes did it take us to create this? That's just it, guys. All you need to do now is to go ahead and place all this fabric on your place your pattern paper on your fabric, and you are good to go. Just start cutting. You can see this now. The front and the back pattern is ready. So with this pattern, guys, you can cut as many pieces of the robe that you want. Okay, yes. So moving on now. So I have my fabric already laid down on the table. So what I have here is about 52 inches. You can see I have my 52 inches in length there, and the length there is about 60 inches there. It's not really up to 60, like 58 inches, because of there are some, depending on the fabric, right? So might not really get up to 60. So by the time I fold it into 2, that means I had 29. Then I folded it again, which makes it into 4. I have about 14.5. So you can see that's what I have right now. So now we have 14.5 against a length of 52. Okay, and of course our pattern, remember what we had was 14, right? Yeah, so that's going to fit in, but just watch, you're going to see some manipulations there. So the length of my outfit now, I'm making it 40 inches. So I'm just going ahead to indicate that length, and I'm cutting it out. Remember I said what we have here was 52. So this remaining excesses is going to serve me as the extension of my sleeve. You can see what we're doing here. So this is just me trying to manage the fabric. But if you don't want to go through this process, then you can use as much as maybe even 3 yards of fabric to really get this. But sometimes it makes things easy, right? Yeah, so that's extra is what I'm going to use. So you can see me bringing my pattern paper now. You can see this now. So by the time I place that extension there, I'll be able to get what I want. So I'm just going ahead to draft this out. You can see what I'm doing. So drafting out, taking off the excesses there. And by the time you make the fold, just cutting out some excess there, then you place that extension, let it overlap, because by the time you sew, you're going to be sewing with 0.5 inches. So you can see the way I'm placing it, make it overlap like so. Then of course, you see the way you place your fabric. So you can see now that my sleeve length is extending. You can see this now. So that's it. So like I said, you can decide to extend your sleeve length to what you want. So all I need to do now is just follow that same shape and cut it out. And guys, this is it, guys. It's as easy as that. So you can see we have our piece already. So what I'm going to do now is to what? Go ahead and join the extension. Just carefully, can do that before, you start doing any other thing of your main sewing. Okay, so I'm just using my pin to hold it down, so I just have everything in place. So you can see this now, and everything, we're good to go right now. So you can see, yeah, so our piece is ready. So I'm going to take one off. Remember, we folded it into 4. Yeah, so we are taking one off now, which is for the back, is already ready. Then the remaining one piece now will make it to be the front piece, so which means now I have to recut it now for the neckline. Okay, yeah, and this fabric is quite slippery. This is a satin fabric, quite slippery, guys. You really need to be careful when you're working with this. So I already have my piece. I already know that I'm going to be slitting that side open, so all I need to do was just to trace out that neckline, remember, and of course to slit it open. Yeah, so that's it, guys. You can see our front piece is all ready as well. Yeah, so the next thing now will be to join my shoulder. After joining that sleeve extension, just go ahead and join the shoulder like you see me demonstrating now. After joining the shoulders, then of course the next thing, of course, to do will be to attach what the sleeve band. So go ahead and finish all that up. And of course, I have this little piece as well. I'm going to be using that for a loop because we're going to be attaching a belt, right? Yeah, so I'll just use this to create a loop. So this is just like 6 to 7 inches by 2 inches in width. So you see how I'm folding it, and you make another fold. Okay, yeah, so this is just going to create a loop. So when you want to attach it, you fold it into 2, and you're going to be attaching it on around the waistline. Okay, just about 17 inches from the shoulder width, you can attach your loop, and that will be it, guys. So moving on now, you can see I've gone ahead to make that stitch. I've also closed up those rough edges. So the sleeve extension is ready, and the shoulder as well is ready as well. Okay, yeah, so the next thing, like I said now, is to attach the sleeve band. So you see me spreading this open, so we'll go ahead now and attach the sleeve band. So I'm just taking note of what I have there. It's about 23 there, so that you know how to cut out for that. So I have my band all ready. Can see this. So this is about 3 inches in width. Okay, and of course the length of the sleeve there will measure, so I think we'll have more than this, so there's going to be room for excesses, so I can always trim out the excesses later. So how do I attach my band? I'm going to be attaching this from the wrong side. The right side of the band is going to be facing the wrong side of the piece there. So you sew like 0.5 inch, just like you see me demonstrating with my pin. You're going to attach this 0.5 inches. After sewing it straight down, then you can now move it to the front. See what I'm doing now? You're going to bring it to the front, making sure that that wrong side is hidden properly inside. You have to do this with an ironing to achieve a better result. Then you go ahead and fold again. You see what I'm doing? Fold again and neatly. Once you do this and you iron it, trust me, you have it looking beautiful. Okay, yes, guys. So I'm going to do that now, and of course for the other side. So once that is done, you can see what I'm doing. Then I'll fold it into 2 and sew the sides. That's after I've attached my sleeve band. Okay, I'm going to sew the side, but indicating what the point where I'm going to add my loop. You can see my loop at 17 inches, so you can go even do it at 16 inches. So once you start sewing the sides now from that your sleeve length, this is the way you attach your loop. At that point there, you just place it in there, slant it. You don't have to make it straight, just slant it like I'm demonstrating. Okay, when you slant it like so, and you will sew. So you take it from that your sleeve all the way straight down, and of course to the other side as well. So I'm going to be sewing all this much later. So moving forward now, and here we have this plain fabric. You can see we have for the belt, and we also have for the collar. Okay, yeah, so for the belt here is just about 4 inches in width. okay, 4 inches in width, and I have this in 2 pieces actually. So because it's in 2 pieces, then it has to be half. So for instance, my belt, I want the belt length of my belt to be about 70 to 80 inches is okay. Okay, so about 70 inches, which means if I'm having it in 2 pieces, one has to be 35, the other has to be 35. Very, very important. Okay, yes guys, you're not going to make one 40 and one 30. No, they has to be equal. So I'll go ahead and sew that later and turn it out. Then for the collar as well, I have about 60 inches in length here, 2 piece. I'm also going to join it. Okay, I'm going to join it together. Okay, when I join it to have a very, very long piece, then I'll go ahead now and iron it into two. What I have here is about 5 inches. So by the time I fold it into two, just ironing is going to give you a very, very good after effect. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, like I said, it's 5 inches, and so that point where I have my joining is where I'm going to, aligning with the neckline. So I'll go finish all this up. And here guys, our piece is ready now. I'm gonna head to join the sides. I've cleaned up the edges, you can see, and of course I've attached my loop, and my band, my sleeve band is ready, you can see. Yeah, we are moving forward right now. You can see this is looking all beautiful already, all coming into shape. So here is my belt. I've gone ahead to sew it as well, and of course turned it all. I'm still going to be giving it a very good press later. Okay, remember I said it's going to be about 70 to 80 inches is okay for the belt length. Okay, yeah, so that's it for the belt. And for the collar, you can see I've gone ahead to iron it into two equal parts, all well ironed. So we're ready to attach it to the dress itself. So what I'm doing now is to get the center points of the neckline. So I'm just matching up the shoulder joining, and I'm trying to notch it there to get a center point there. You can see I've done that now, just using my chalk to make it more visible. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to be attaching this on the right side. Yeah, I'm going to attach it on the right side. So the best way is to actually take note of what you have from the lowest point of your sleeve, take it all the way around, then you'll be able to get the amount of piece that you're going to use for this collar. Okay, so this is actually the best time to get that piece after all the joining. But the thing is, I have a very long piece. This is about 60 inches and it's not a full length, so I already know that it's going to be more than enough. So that's why I already have my collar already. Okay, yeah, so but if you want to, then please, the best time is to, after joining, then you now take the measurement to know the amount of strip you're going to use. Okay, yes, so that's it. So the next thing to do will now be to attach this to the main dress. So like I said, the center point of that collar will be matching with the center point we created on the dress there. So just make sure you match it up. You sew from there all the way straight down to the end, and of course you do the same thing to the other end. It's as easy as that, guys. Yeah, that's it, guys. I'll go ahead now and finish all this up. Okay, so once that is done, you just go ahead and hem the lowest point of this outfit. That will be it, guys. And so guys, by the time I'm done, I'll go ahead and also clean up the edges. Very, very important to do that. And so you can see I've done that now. You can see this now. So what I did was to top stitch. I'll top stitch there so that hemline is going to be facing inwards. Okay, and of course give this a very, very good press. You can see these guys now looking so beautiful already. All you need to do is just attach your belt and you're good to go, guys. Believe it or not, we have come to the end of this video. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. I hope you find this helpful. Please, if you do, smash the subscribe button. It is free, guys. It is free to subscribe, Smash that subscribe button, okay? I appreciate that a lot. And also remember to on your notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload my weekly videos on this channel. Thank you, guys. Thank you a lot to all my subscribers. I appreciate you guys a lot. You guys are amazing. Thank you a million. Thank you to you all, okay? And don't forget to like and share with friends as well. Any question, suggestion, video requests, feel free to drop it in the comment section, okay? We'll definitely work on that. Thank you so much, guys. See you on the next one. Bye.